Alright, going, good luck, have fun. We'll give him a spooky worm, give him a Twitch link, and you're just in time, everybody. We are here, we're ready to go, and we're getting into game number 1 of our first best of 3 of the evening. Let's get going. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut, and we are going to be having ourselves our first of 2 best of 3 series, and we find ourselves here on Tomb of the Spider Queen in Division B East. Let's find out how we got here, because I think that's probably the more important question. The home team this evening is going to be Bread Rising Yeast Sports. They lost the coin flip. The members of... I didn't have the right team names, I just realized. I started doing that and I was like, wait a minute, we don't have the right team names. That was the one thing I forgot to do before we got into the matchup, so my apologies. Totski rated in I'm a professional streamer. I swear I know what I'm doing. It's all under control, I swear. All right, there we go. So the home team this evening is going to be Bread Rising Esports. They lost the coin flip, banning out Battlefield of Eternity and Volskaya Foundry as the opposing side opted for first pick priority, and they're going to be going for Sky.
Left Bahamu 108, haha, shrug right, yay, Baha Knight.
Thank you so much for the resubscription, Kaylee. Oh my god, Weenus. Sorry, hold on, let's get through this. Jailbait's gonna ban out Sky Temple and Curse Hall as they opted for first pick priority since they won the coin flip. The opposing side then will be choosing to take us to Tomb of the Spider Queen. All right, let's get back into this draft, and really quickly, thank you so much, Weenus, for the 8 months of support. Thank you seriously so much, and I cannot wait to play D&D with you on Saturday. Crazed Mara, thank you for the follow. We're all over the place right now. We're just coming in hot, but we do have Tomb of Spider Queen with an Ariel as well as a Deathwing band on the left, and we have a Garrosh and a Kael'thas on the right. Joanna will be the first pick on that right-hand side. Really strong groupings between the top to mid rotations, and also just a strong anchor overall throughout the entire matchup. So it's going to be very, very good for their core on the side of Jailbait. Now on the opposing side, Bread Rising Esports, they've got a lot of opportunities here. You still have things like Diablo, who's fallen off quite heavily, but there's a lot of areas where he can actually get that shadow charge in, and that's actually going to be an Anduin first pick with that. Oh, you know what? I was saying Diablo, but realistically, I think Diablos have just been replaced by Mal'Ganis, and the disruption that Mal'Ganis brings to the table is just too much for some teams to deal with. As well as you can grab something like a Greymane or like a Maiev or a Genji, something that dives in there, and you can actually amplify that Mal'Ganis effectiveness because you just have extra damage coming in, and he can kind of control the fight with that Night Rush. But that's going to be a Mephisto Junkrat on the right-hand side. I like this a lot already. Mephisto, not a hero we see too often. Dear Lord, Ace, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that, friend. Mephisto is really, really strong on quite a few maps because of his poke potential. The cooldown reduction that he can get from using his basic abilities on heroes is really, really impactful as well, so you can actually combo out and you can really start to put out damage. I was playing him in a brawl, and I know it's a different kind of setting, but I was just playing this build that by 16, like, I was just dealing so much damage from every single one of my from my basic abilities. And dear Lord, Alarak of the Storm, subscribing. Thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription, Alarak of the Storm. Your artwork is the best thing on earth. If you have not checked out Alarak of the Storm, you should be. Dear Lord, the literal High Lord is in my chat right now. I am honored. But Junkrat to be in there as well, that's going to be a lot of good disruption coming out from them with the Concussion Mine, so that might be a good way to answer Mal'Ganis a bit. Dear Lord, Weenus, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Thank you to Himi, who's in here pranking our lobby a little bit early. And then Kabitsit Bum, I think it is. I think I got it right. But thank you, Weenus, for the 2 gifted subs to those wonderful, wonderful people. I'm trying to keep up with chat in the draft, and thank you for being here, everybody. But that was a Stukov and a Gul'dan ban on the left and the right. They do need a healer on the right side, so that makes a lot of sense. But I'm a little surprised they didn't ban out something like an Ana, that it would actually empower the Mephisto. Maybe they just don't have an Ana player on the side of Jailbait. It's definitely a possibility. But a Kael'thas and Lunara to be coming out here. Kael'thas on Tomb of Spider Queen, I actually think works really, really well because of how often often you're going to be brawling against the enemy team, you can actually stack up quite a bit. And they have that Lunara for a little bit faster wave clear. Mal'Ganis will be able to add into that, but a Rhaegar on the right-hand side for that ancestral healing. So they're not going to be going into an Ana right there. And then our last pick, Joanna, they need a solo lane. They don't know what they're going up against, so they're going to grab the Yrel, who's been fairly dominant within the meta lately. Depending on how you build her, you can actually play her extremely aggressive, and like post 10 you can see you can harass, like you can 1v3 harass with the Ardent Defender, but a diva to round out the draft. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you, Tatsuki, for permitting that. I don't know why, like, Twitch is super weird about the word jailbait. It's a team name. Thank you seriously all for being here. I'm sorry I'm not keeping up with the chat, but perfect chaos. Miss Windup Bird, Jordo, everyone's here. Stark's in chat. Good to see you, Stark. Cribs in chat. Hello, everybody. Wow, dear Lord. I'll be honest, like this is gonna be a really, really, really good game. I think we're in for quite a brawl on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's also going to come down to, can the Kel'Thuzad get the stacks they need to be able to get the spell power that they want? When you have 15 stacks, so there's 30 stacks you need total on the Master of the Cold Dark, and you can get those by hitting enemy heroes with the chains or hitting them with the Frost Nova, which is his W or his E. The Q, the Death and Decay, that is just damage, and it gives a little bit of wave clear in a sense. So you're going to be wanting to look for those 30 stacks, so that way you can get the 75% spell power. 15 stacks will get you the Glacial Spike, but right now we got a game. Let's go ahead and jump on into this. On the left-hand side, we got Bread Rising Yeast Sports. Linehouse is going to go ahead and be on that Diva. McGiblets is going to be on the Anduin. Duke of Sky will be on the Lunara. Snag is going to be on the Mal'Ganis, and Narina is going to be on that Kel'Thuzad. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Jailbait. Kobo is going to be on the Junkrat. Fragastellar will be on the Mephisto. Cawthon is going to be on the Joanna. H2O on that Yrel. And DB Smiley going to be on the Rhaegar. Let's go ahead and get on in to our first engagement in mid lane. And actually, let's jump onto the red side vision really quickly for this, just because they have kind of this poke range and stuff like that, and they've also got Mephisto who can kind of jump out exactly right there. I was just curious to see how blind they'd be jumping out into this enemy team, and it seems like they're fairly confident into this. That's going to be Linehouse being thrown around a little bit right there, as they do have the jet boost right out. Not going to have to worry about that too much. They did go into pro moves at level 1, so they are going to be having that movement speed every time they do take damage up to 30%, so you can at least be a little bit more mobile in that sense. But the main focus will be between the top to mid rotations, as Cawthon takes so much damage. Snag steps up and finds the immediate kill onto them. Night Rush coming through, and DB needs to back off. That's going to be, they utilize the Shade of Mephisto to actually get out of the damage from Kel'Thuzad, or I think it was either they got rid of the Frost Nova or the chains. I think it was the chains, because I don't think they connected either way. It was just a really good tool of that. But right there, that Frost Nova that you saw on the ground where Fragastellar got rooted, that's exactly what I was talking about beforehand. So that's another way for him to stack. So we can often see those stacks be finished out extremely quickly, or they can go into the later half of the game. 30 stacks may not seem like a lot, but it definitely takes a long time if the enemy team's constantly spreading out and making sure they're not getting hit by chains, or only maybe one person's getting hit by chains at a time. Fragastellar will be jumping out. That's going to be the Lightning Nova around them as well. Not going to be able to have enough damage, but Snag is in a bit of a rough spot as H2O got that Righteous Hammer onto them. They're going to try and utilize this team fight right here to keep themselves alive, but Lunara does go down. Snag's going to get picked off as well, and that's going to be a 2 for none as they just kind of trade blows right there. But that is also going to be 1 kill in favor for Bread Rising Yeast Sports. On the note of kills, just to show kind of where the experience is coming from right now, and it's still fairly even, as actually we're looking at roughly like 500 experience difference between these two teams, and you can see, like, yeah, the minions, there's you know, another 500 there, but it's mostly because they were just waiting for that top lane to actually come up to them. They're not wanting to be too aggressive into this enemy team right now, and it shows. While they had 2 members down, they're just going to play that a little bit safer. It's the smart move. Just jumping down into bottom lane. H2O is just going to be able to manage this on their own. Diva going to turn a few gems as well, just get those into the bank. They'll be sitting around 20 out of the 50 necessary for the first Webweaver turn-in phase. Perfect 1010, thank you so much for the 6 months of support. Thank you for the tier 1 subscription. I really appreciate that. Resub hype. I need to make a resub hype command apparently. Stream has almost got past, I thought it was 40 minutes ago. I'm glad I double checked. Oh, it almost got past you. You thought it was going online 40 minutes ago? Whew. Yeah, tonight we started half an hour later than some of the previous days this week. Tatsuki, thank you so much for helping out. Thank you. Seriously, I hope you like the raid is already wild enough, but thank you for hanging out and also doing mod work as well. I seriously appreciate it. Fragastella taking so much damage right there as Cawthon's gonna try and get onto Duca Sky. They don't find the kill they were looking for, as the Leap of Faith should be saving them and did save them. Webweaver turn availability is here for the members of Jailbait. We'll have to see if they're actually able to turn that in, but just gonna do some lane management first, make sure that they have the lanes pushed out a little bit, because if they do get these Webweavers, they're only gonna descend as far up as the enemy wave is into theirs. So realistically, you want it to be crashing onto the front gate of this mid lane, but Narina is going to be the target as Cawthon. Ooh, the Junkrat Concussion Mine throwing things off a little bit. That Condemn was supposed to pull them in. Concussion Mine threw them a little too far away. Oh dear God. Tilted Sister, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Dear Lord, chat, thank you. You wild tonight. Swifter, Chaos Revenant, Gled, Kelser, and Merlin, enjoy your Asthma Pogs, your Baja Rages, you are Tilted Sister, seriously, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Oh boy. For all the feet stalking, honest to God, it never bothered me. I always got a good chuckle out of it, but they're looking to go for this tournament right now. Cawthon trying to get the last 3 gems they need. I mean, we can actually show who's got what gems right now. Any person on the side of Jailbait could get this turn in because they only needed the 3. On the opposing side, they need 17 if caster math is doing me correct. If I'm doing caster math correctly right there. But that will be Red Webweaver phase coming out in favor for the members of Jailbait. And now we'll see, oh, that's a good fight breaking out in mid lane as they get a great condemn onto a few. That's going to be the slow with the subdue, but they don't end up getting it. Oh my God, Stark with 10 gifted subs in the middle of this. I can't keep up. The Anduin's going to be going down. Duca Sky is going to be so very low as well. They end up tapping the well. Linehouse is going to get forced back right there as they end up getting Lunara. The Nexus Force is a little too OP right there. Snag is needing to back out as this is an absolute blood. Oh my God, Narina getting thrown into the enemy team. That's so many gems on the ground. Snag is considering to step up and grab them, but they use the Righteous Hammer to deny that as they jump back into top lane, and they're going to be pushing with this Webweaver. Captain and Zag, Glogan, Nubnub, Aruba, Land, Sulin, Mad Kaiser, Sam, and Captain Bobo, enjoy your gifted subs. Seriously, Stark, thank you so much for all the gifted subs. Thank you so much to Tilt's sister and Moist Weenus and Day. Seriously, you chat. I love you so much. I can't keep up. Seriously, you're all the best, but enjoy the finger guns, the Baja Rages, the oh my gods, and your little gilded beard in chat. Lionhouse is gonna get dove on. I saw the chest leader comment from Stark right there. But we currently have Fragastella just throwing out some damage. And actually, while they're throwing out that damage, we actually haven't been able to highlight any of those numbers just yet. So let's actually cycle through those right now and get an idea of what that's looking like. As we do have Fragastella stepping further forward right now. Currently have 16,000 heroic damage coming out from them. On the opposing side, Lunara with 18 themselves. And a couple members on the opposing side, actually, the Junkrat close as well with 16. And Urel actually putting up about 10k as well in that solo lane brawl. Speaking of, down here, we actually have Snag trying to slow them down as they're looking for a turn in. As noted before, they only need 17 gems to be turned in, and this is actually, I mean, I would say, I think it's like 2 players on the side of Bread Rising Esports have enough to turn in themselves, but that's going to be a Riptire from the Junkrat. They're going for single target onto the Lunara, and they find the kill. That's going to be the Frost Blast, if I'm not mistaken, from the Kel'Thuzad to try and slow them down, but they end up just eating that damage. The Durance of Hate comes out from Fragastella, but it doesn't connect, and they actually have the Diva Mecha Explosion coming out right now. They find the kill onto Joanna. That's going to be, there was an Ancestor Healing at some point in that fight. I saw it go off and I was like, cool, someone's staying alive. H2O is maybe, okay, they're going to be able to get out of there. Fragastella, that was in a bit of a rough spot as they might, oh, the Carrion Swarm is actually going to boot the Mal'Ganis into them. I think it was like right before Carrion Swarm actually like fully animated, it moved Mal'Ganis with them, and I think that was the intention, was to maybe split it. Who knows? Kriv, thank you for donating 500 bits. Dear Lord. Apparently there's emotes in chat too. Just these gifted subs though. The 500 bits you gave is Pog. Seriously. I can't. This is a struggle for me. Thank you seriously so much, everyone. I love you so much. Based on the team names, Bread Rising all the way. I'm impartial as a caster. Mythal, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, friend. But right now we have a fight up here that's going to be Durance of Hate coming out, not connecting onto anyone just yet with that one. Fragastellar needing to back off. There's going to be a concussion mine, but look at the Frost. Oh, they... It's Frost Blast, excuse me. So Frost Blast was coming out right there, and Kobo ends up. They tried their best to get away from that, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out. And they find the kill onto Mephisto, allowing them to push up further with their blue Web Weaver phase. That will be Chains. I think they popped the Iron Skin, so they were able to get away. But Cawthon taking a whole lot of damage from Lunar as they stepped up further. Do you want to resub Hype Command? Yeah, if you would like to make one, I will definitely use it. Motion, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. Wait, we have Bunny Hop and Frost Blast? Exactly. Tatsuki, thank you for gifting a sub to Motion. Seriously, all the gifted subs this evening, URL Cree. We're in game 1 of our first best of 3. We have potentially 5 more games this evening. Level 20 Bunny Diva Hop is Pog. Let's hope we get to level 20 here. As I've just been kind of just yelling random things about Here's the Storm and then just thinking chat. Yeah, no, Kaylee, if you do, I kind of gave you a round of, oh no, you did it. Okay, perfect. I love you. Thank you. You're the best. Kaleo like makes 90% of the commands in this channel because otherwise I would have just forgot about them every single time. Durance of Hate went out right there, did connect onto 2 players. That's going to be the Diva Mech Explosion that triggered as well. That will be a Riptire from Kobo as well, just trying to force them back and get some damage onto this Mal'Ganis as they're now just disengaging. That's going to be a great Divine Star out from McGiblets to keep the friendly members alive as the blue Web Weaver phase is going to be coming back once again. So it's back-to-back Web Weaver phases for the members of Bread Rising Yeast Sports. And now Mal'Ganis is a little bit low here trying to find their way into this fight. I'm just skimming through some of the questing talents right now. 63 stacks out of the 200 for the Taste for Explosions, but you do get nope, sorry, I was thinking of something else. Never mind. I thought there was like some halfway reward for that, but I was thinking of a completely different thing. Bunny Hop coming out, Fragastellar going to be getting the Ancestor Healing. That's going to be the Frost Blast coming out from Kale Dezat. 42 gems are on this Rhaegar, and they don't have an Ancestor Healing. Diva Mech is going to go down. Fragastellar will be going down as well. Carrion Swarm will be triggered by Snag as they force them back right there, get a little bit of healing. They don't lose out on too many gems. The big thing is just Smiley with 47 gems. That is a terrifying spot to be in right now because you want to be aggressive with this Rhaegar, but you don't want to be aggressive to the point where you end up dropping the majority of your bank account on the floor. Blue Web Weavers are stepping up to this keep front gate. Actually, no, going up to a keep, and they're looking to push aggressively into this. Usually you play around the Web Weaver. They're actually diving beyond it, looking for DB. They're trying to go ahead and get that kill so they can get the gems on the ground. But either way, they're in the Nexus area of the enemy team, so if they drop these, it's not that big of a deal. Durance of Hate did go out just to slow them down. Lunara did go down as well as they overextended a bit on this keep. I think it was actually leashed onto them. But top lane is a Web Weaver that actually has a decent wave behind it as well. So this needs to be cleared out, and Kobo will make quick work of that right there. Day, thank you for the 300 bits. Baja Hype. I will resend as many of these alerts as I can after we get out of this game. Seriously, I appreciate this so much. I can't thank you all enough. Who wants envelopes? I've got a spare. Stark. I love that so much. Looks like 2 keeps here minimum. Unfortunately, they only got half of one and like a 16th of this one's, but we do have red Web Weavers now coming out in response. We're gonna go ahead and look through some of those other numbers in just a second. I want to see 16 talent tiers, and when we get to the 17-18 area, we'll go ahead and cycle through our numbers once again. Nice use of the Bruiser Camp coming through in this mid lane because that does give them the spell armor. That's why you're seeing this little 20 spell armor on Anduin, and that's why you're seeing it go. It appears and disappears because of that mage in the middle, but that gets cleared out immediately. The Durance of Hate comes out. That's gonna be the Carrion Swarm from the Mal'Ganis. I'm not sure if it was really necessary just because they were still healthy. They were still fairly healthy, but either way, Light Bomb comes out from Anduin. They chase further on to DB, who got the majority of their gems. Actually, they got all those gems in earlier. Frost Blast coming out once again. That actually got that blew up the Riptire H2O very low. Concussion Mine goes out, but it doesn't force the Diva Mech away. 16 talents here around the corner for both these teams as Lunar. Oh, the Ancestor Healing is a touch late and doesn't find it right there, but red Web Weavers are coming through. Top lane is going to get pushed in quite extensively. This is a massive wave that needs to be dealt with. So, during all of it, this is pretty much as much as they got, unfortunately. Not a whole lot from that Web Weaver phase on the side of Jailbait, but they have back-to-back turn-ins, so they could go for this once again. They've got 9 seconds on this respawn area. Let's actually jump over to the vision. We're going to grab Kel'Thuzad's vision really quickly and just kind of see what they're seeing. So they know that they're playing around this turn-in. D.Va's actually already down here, so they can get one disruption with maybe a Nitro boost through all of that, but the turn-in is up and available. And yeah, there's so D.Va goes in with 1 interruption. They actually got the turn-in in time. I didn't think that they were going to be able to. I thought D.Va was going to go in there a lot sooner, but they didn't, and that will be Red Web Weavers once again coming out in favor for the members of Jailbait. Ancestor Healing coming out as the Frost Blast connected onto Fragastellar. Really good use of that consistently. Also going to be getting the kill onto Lunara right above us. Kobo so very low. Needs, okay, I was going to say they need like a single heal. That's it. They're fine after that. Top lane is going to be descending right now, and this is what I was talking about. It goes as far up as the enemy wave is. So right now, it's going to be descending, well, you just saw it right there. I was thinking that it was going to be in the front gate, but I didn't see any units on the ground. Either way, stepping up further through bottom lane. Great concussion mine on the Linehouse. Uses the Mecha Explosion. They actually get the insta-pop onto D.Va as well, so she's out of there. Narina getting very low as well. Riptire right behind them. Durance of Hate goes out, but it doesn't connect. The Riptire should get the explosion as necessary, and they find the kill on to Kel'Thuzad and Snag trying to get the Night Rush out of here. No Carrion Swarm for the next 69 seconds. Nice. And we currently have bottom lane getting pushed in. Did y'all hear that today is the 6,969th day since, well, it's probably past for some people at this point, but since 2000. Today is 6969, that's all. Just... or 0 keeps max, I believe in Yeast, my mistake. Yeast got yeeted. Look at the flank, though, coming out from Snag right now. And they don't have a Web Weaver, they don't have a... Oh, how did they... How are you gonna do him so dirty like that? That's gonna be killed as that trying to find a combo onto 1 Leaping Strike from Lunara just to get them onto the friendly side. Alright, as promised, let's go ahead and cycle through some of the other numbers. We've seen 16 talents here for a while. The only questing talent is going to be Taste for Explosions at 116 out of the 200 necessary. And even then, it's not necessary to finish it out. It's just, it's something that you gain over time as the the Frost Blast comes out, and they get the Ancestor Healing just in time. The Durance of Hate came out as well, and Kel'Thuzad goes down. They burn the Phylactery. No, they don't burn the Phylactery stacks. I was wondering if they did, because it has the little icon there. But Mecha Explosion goes out. Frag takes a little bit of damage. But they reset right now. No turn availability for either side, but, you know, boss is up and available. You've got 34 on Kel'Thuzad, 30 on Lunara. Mal'Ganis will be up fairly soon, but with not a whole lot on the map outside of their own Bruiser camp, I would say that this is a comfortable boss call, but they're taking a little bit of time to do this, so this gives time for the enemy team to get back, get in position, manage some of the lanes. I think this was telegraphed a little. No, that might have not been telegraphed whatsoever. I think they cleared mid and then disappeared on maps, so they could have, you know, be here or they could be on boss, at least in the vision of the opposing side. This is what we're seeing right now, but this is Kel'Thuzad coming back in a second, as well as Lunara. Looks like they're not even going to check boss, and they're just going to be going for a Bruiser camp of their own. Since they're not seeing the enemy team on the map, I'm just curious. Or, oh, maybe, are they seeing the enemy team around this map? I think they might have, when they walked into this, they might have shown a mini-map, so they could try and invade onto this, but the rotation is going to take a little bit of time. Also, to note, they only need about 20... Oh, God, I was trying to do the math, and of course, some got turned. I think it was like 22 or 23 gems to get another Web Weaver phase on the side of Jailbait. Salami. Wait, when did Salami get added? How long ago did Salami get added? God, the commands in this channel, I just like, I don't even know what half of my own commands are. Riptire coming out, they did, no, they went in Cannibals for level 20. I was thinking that they went into Extra Oomph because it looked like they were trying to get as many people within that outside of the fact of just trying to get the maximized damage, but the boss is going to get a slam onto the Kel'Thuzad. That will be Duke of Sky going down as well. Kel'Thuzad does not have enough Phylactery stacks to get them back in here as the Light Bomb goes out from Lighthouse. Excuse me, onto Linehouse. Carrion Swarm coming out as well from the Mal'Ganis, but the boss is currently on core. That's going to be Storm Shield out from the Joanna, I believe. No, it's going to be Rhaegar. That's D.Va Mecha Explosions on the back. Ancestor Healing doesn't go off in time. I think it actually pushed them into the keep, and the keep targeted onto them, and now with 70% on the core, they need to back out. Oh, that's a very good Ardent Defender from Yrel just to be able to keep themselves alive, and now they're going to try and turn this around. Snag is actually getting very low, but the Shade of Mephisto ends, and they don't find that last hit. I remember adding it a few months ago. I don't remember why. I think it was probably like knowing us. Oh, you know what it was from? It was from when we did the Totski versus Big Duck, Big Scary's Ducks. I think when we did that, I think we might have made some like salami jokes when Tatsuki was playing Kael'thas. That doesn't sound right because it kind of sounds like he sings. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about it. But I think it's from that. I think it's from that event. Nice defense there, seriously. Oh, butt spot. Yeah. Also, I saw a couple people in chat last night in the Heroes Hearth Celebrity Clash League asking for butt spot. I will talk to Workhorse about it. Like jokes aside, I will legit talk to Workhorse about it and see if he's interested in having it in their channel. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like they could be like, well, it's a little like, but also at the same time, like I feel like that just makes everything a little bit better. Either way. No removing of the butts. Yeah, there's Probius copy pasta in here. Welcome to Baker Street. Thank you for the tier 1 subscription. I have to resend so many alerts. When we get out of this game, it's just going to be resending alerts pretty much. But 20 talent tier up on both of these sides. Webweaver turn availability for the members of Jailbait. And this is game 1 of our first best of 3 of the evening. So this could go either way, and even then, like last night was a good indication. Like those matches, like the first series of last night was absolutely wild. I was not expecting that to go the direction it did. I think it's a good way to kind of keep it a little spoiler free. We do currently have Dirty Trickster value coming out from Kobo as they get cleansed from the Rhaegar, but a lot of damage goes on to kill the Zod. They end up going down. No phylactery stacks to bring them back in. Diva uses the mech explosion on the right hand side of the screen. That's going to be Duke of Sky getting the Leap of Faith onto them, but Lunara will be going down to the Urel as they did get that Holy Wrath onto them. Or excuse me, Avenging Wrath? I always screw those up. Either way. Chasing in further into bottom lane. Diva Mecha form gonna be going down here. Oh, the Ancestor Healing gonna be coming out onto H2O. They don't actually lose the mech. Snag getting slowed a little bit. Junkrat gonna manage mid lane, but they have Webweaver turn in, and this Webweaver 19 to 20 minutes into the game through top lane going straight to a core, that might be their opportunity to end game. Boss, as I was just looking at, is 114, so they're not gonna be going for that. Also, as noted before, on a map like this, the camps disappear if you don't tag them. So if a camp was off, actually every camp I think was, oh yeah, no, every camp was already grabbed, so it didn't even matter, but it was just one of those things that like you can see that like little yellow, if you get an objective where it removes the camps, much like how this one does, and you see that camp still up, you can be like, oh, maybe we make an invade onto the enemy team while they're bossing or grabbing a bruiser camp. So it's just little things like that you can take into your own games. Salami al Shelanori. Exactly, Day. Nightbot comes out and promotes Nightbot's channel. Wait, Discord? Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm like half catching things in chat, but good to see you, Valk. I hope you're having a wonderful night. KPB as well. Good to see you, friend. All right, let's pull away the talents really quickly, and we have a Riptire coming out from Junkrat. That's going to be Light Bomb, but it actually was denied because of the Riptire. Mal'Ganis first going down on it's actually to the Rhaegar. I think it was in the top of our screen. Killed the Zod getting picked up as well. Anduin going to be going down as well. Webweaver in top lane's already gone, but the ones in bottom in mid are already coming through. Limehouse going to be losing the Diva mech form. That's going to be a Righteous Hammer to throw them back, and now the team says, you know what? We don't care about Webweavers. They can go for keeps. We want to go for core, and we want to take game number 1 in our favor. And Jailbait takes game number 1 in our first best of 3 of the evening. GG. Well played. Oop. Oh boy. All right, let's resend some alerts. The ones that we know we can. Okay, all of those should go.
I follow you to the end of the world. Subscribed.
GG's indeed. Dear Lord Kriv,
I will follow you to the end of
thank you for gifting 5 subs as well. I'll let those run through after all of these ones. Seriously, dude, thank you so much. Thank you all so much in chat for all this. Like, I'm honest to God blown away.
Bursting decadence.
Thank God I'm not on camera at this moment.
Twists all our arms collectively, but if sweetness can win, and it can, then I'll still be here.
All right, let's get our next map up.
To high-five you yesterday, my friend. Peace.
These gifted subs, though.
These gifted subs, though. What's up, Bandit Butt? Oh, did you rip up another toy? You did rip up another toy. I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Yes. My good boy. Okay, sorry. I need to make a map really quickly. Make observer, set to referee, do this, do that. That's gonna go over to them, and then let's get Snag in here first. Because there's so many gifted subs, we're giving Bandit a treat. That's just I'm making that decision right now. That is decision. Oh yes, would you like one of these? Come on, come up and say hi. Hi. How are you? Did you have a good day today? Can I have a high five? Good boy! Alright, I'm gonna give you half because these are gigantic. There you go, take it. Bandit has a hedgehog? Yeah. He's got a little hedgie. He's got a rat king as well. Okay, swap them back over, invite to game. Did you like that one? Are those ones good? Are those ones good? Yeah? Hold on, I'm just gonna get that fuzz. I mean, we might as well. Captain, thank you for, yeah, you get another one. Can you shake? Can you shake? Can you other paw? Good boy. Sit. Oh, I'm sorry. Most of that was off screen. I'm sorry. Or off camera. Okay. Let me just grab all this fuzz. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. Oh, I'm falling. You can't eat this. That's not good for you. Here, you can have that. You can have this. And we can put this on your head. Okay, the teams are slowly loading in here, and we'll go ahead and get into game number 2 here in just a second. So, Kriv, thank you for gifting a sub to Weskra. Savane, to Hex, to Zerging, and Kellius. Enjoy your Azampog Baja Rages, finger guns, all that good stuff. And then Porky, thank you for the 7 months of Tier 1 support. Thank you all, seriously, for all of the support this evening. It is absolutely wild. While we're loading into this map really quickly, I just wanted to, of course, thank you all for all of this. Like, so I don't have enough words for it. It's seriously, I'm looking over at this at Streamlabs, and it blows it. This is my response. So seriously, thank you all so much. Like, I can't thank you all enough. The big thing before we get into this game, I just want to note is that we are very, very close to Twitch partner. I'm going to be looking at stats after tonight, and then I think we might try and apply tomorrow night for Twitch partners. So we'll see. I think we're in the range for stats, but thank you all for being here, and thank you for supporting stream consistently and always just helping out and lurking and supporting and just letting people know that stream is going and all that kind of good stuff. So thank you. I love you. And let's go ahead and ask if the teams are ready. Whew. Bandit is just charisma on cam? Yeah. He's such a good boy. All right, I'm just double checking all the numbers. Everything is all set. I want to do one thing. Streamer also needs to update the team scores. I did not forget about that. All right. Pushing that, let me update the team score, and then let's get into game number 2 of our first of 2 best of 3 series this evening.
Towers of Doom.
Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. We find ourselves here in game number 2 between the members of Bread Rising, Yeast Sports, and Jailbait. Jailbait being up in our first best of 3 of the evening. Of course, I chugged too much team between matches, but let's find out how we got here, because I'm sure you're all itching to find that information out. The home team this evening is going to be Bread Rising Yeast Sports. They lost the coin flipped. That means the opposing team either gets first pick or map pick priority. Jailbait opted for first pick. Jailbait banned out Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow. The opposing side has map pick priority for game number 1, so they have banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Volskaya on the side of Bread Rising Yeast Sports. They chose Tomb of the Spider Queen and lost that. In game number 2, they opted for they opted for map pick priority, and they have chosen to take us to Towers of Doom. Let's go ahead and get back into the draft and find out what we're going to be getting here on Towers of Doom band-wise, because we have a lot of options. I'm sorry, bud, I don't have any more for you. Maybe later. Maybe a little bit later. He's just he was like right here. He's just like more subsequent, more beta toys. Basically, yeah. Like for anyone that doesn't know, like I don't use any money that comes in from stream. I don't use it for any personal gain. I don't take a trip with it. I don't fill my gas tank with it. Like God forbid I never have to like split that money like that, because what I usually like to do is, you know, get bark boxes for Bandit. We do small upgrades for stream. It helps a lot with making the production quality a little bit better. We were able to buy nice key lights, so we actually have really fancy like key lights that I can on my stream deck literally just go like this and we no longer have light, and I can go like this and we now have light. So yeah, it's absolutely wild, and it's all because of all of you. So thank you for being here and thanks for supporting. Seriously, I can't say it enough, and I'm probably gonna say it a million more times. So we have a Sylvanas Ariel on the left-hand side. Jailbait's actually going to respect the Mal'Ganis from last game and ban out the Joanna as well, grabbing a first pick Abathur. On the opposing side of Red Rising Esports, they're gonna I won't say it's sweaty, but they're gonna grab a Greymane and a Malthael to start things out. And Malthael's really, really good at double soaking on Towers of Doom. You can grab on a Pale Horse and rotate very quickly between top and mid. It gives you 20% movement speed increase while mounted. Your baseline movement speed while mounted is 130%. Obviously, your baseline movement speed is 100, unless you have talents like Sergeant Hammer, like Siege or Hover Siege, where it changes that, but that's a whole side thing. So Malthael can double soak really effectively. Their wave clear is pretty good. In a solo lane matchup against maybe a Yrel or a Leoric or a Blaze, it's actually going to be a good time for the Malthael. So early grab onto it, it's showing a little bit, but they're also securing a very good hero. Leoric is considered kind of a response because he does have his own self-sustain. It really comes down to playstyle and the talent builds they go into. That's actually something they were talking about onto into the Nexus this morning, or this afternoon. I was listening to that while I was working, and Kyle Ferguson was literally saying, he's like, I've been playing in the CCL, and there's so many different, like it's so different because you're going up against a solo laner that might be platinum, or a solo lane player that's maybe grandmaster. So you learn things, and he was saying like the one matchup that kind of works out, especially on Towers of Doom, is like that Malthael Leoric, because you can double soak fairly effectively, and they also have some good self-sustain and brawling into each other. But either way, we had an Ana and Garrosh ban. We currently have the Rhaegar Zarya on the left-hand side, so that Zarya is going to be adding in some extra shielding onto the Greymane, allowing them to dive in. I would expect something like a Nanubarak or a Diablo or some sort of dive-based hero to be going in on the side of Red Rising Yeast Sports. But on the opposing side, they've got a Genji, which is a great clone target. They could look for either a Hanzo or a Jaina for some poke onto the shrine area, but no, they're gonna go Kerrigan and Varian. That's some dive. I was thinking they'd just be like, oh, poke it, maybe, you know, control it a little bit, but no, it's like Genji dives, Varian dives, Kerrigan dives, and then Abathur clones whatever, and Anduin just leap of fates the person who's a little too far forward. I love this. Light Bomb Delivery Service draft from Jailbait. Yeah, seriously, yeah, that's a good call, Stark. Someone needs 20k. Actually, someone's redeemed that. There's been one redemption of the 20k bandit treat. We did it like...
The light abandons no man.
I think we did it last week. I think it was like last week, Thursday. I feel like it was during Division S last week. Double butt spotted? Really? Oh, wow. Stark just getting targeted by butt spot. That is going to be a main tank Uther to round things out. Red Rising Yeast Sports has they've got a lot of healing and a lot of, I think this actually might work out for them really, really well. So like Kerrigan dive, like let's talk about the initiation. Let's say Varian goes taunt, which is probably going to be the case. Actually, no, I have no idea. I feel like this could be Twin Blades Varian with the Abathur Adrenal Overload at level 4. Still, let's assume it's taunt Varian. He charges in, gets the taunt. Zarya then, bubbles someone or shields them. They take a lot of damage. That gives Zarya some energy, and then you also have the healing coming in from Rhaegar, and then the healing and shielding coming in from the Uther. This might be really, really difficult to kill the Greymane, but let's find out if that's even going to be possible. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Red Rising Yeast Sports. We've got McGiblets going to be on the Rhaegar. We've got Linehouse on the Malthael. Duke of Sky is going to be on the Greymane. Nareen is going to be on the Uther, and we have Snag on that Zarya. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Jailbait. We're going to be having Kobo on the oh my god. Kobo on the Abathur. Fragistellar is going to be on the Varian. Cawthon will be on the Kerrigan. We've got H2O on that Genji, and DB Smiley on the Anduin. Let's go ahead and get into mid lane and not even see our first engagement. Malthael, there's that on a pale horse. This is actually, oops, there we go. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Look at this right now, though. They're trying to sidewall that, but you can see Malthael being mounted. Movement speed is 150%, and that extra 20% coming from on a pale horse. But right now, the fight in bottom lane is popping off as there's a lot of damage on Zarya, who's just has a full bar of energy and is putting out a decent amount of damage here. And they don't find a kill just yet. I'm gonna cycle over to the damage. We can look at level 1 talents all throughout the game. I just want to kind of show the damage in this fight right now, as they find an initial kill onto the Varian. I mean, as long as Greymane just keeps getting healing, he's not going to be... I feel like it's one of those things that, like, whoever gets dove upon is just going to get a Zarya shield. And then Uther or Rhaegar heals said person. And they have to find a way to split this core 4, in my opinion. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a struggle here, because they're going to be just pushing face all game. Speaking of pushing face all game, we are here on Towers of Doom, and that is pretty much the name of the game. I moved out of lane, and of course I was like, let's see how this matchup goes. Greymane has do they have a disengage? The slowing totem from Rhaegar as well, just to force them back. Anduin throws out the chastise, gets the leap of faith onto the father, and Fragastellar is going to be fine right there. But right now, let's actually talk really quickly about map mechanics, because Towers of Doom, it is going to be, there's a main sort of strategy that most teams utilize, which is going to be, you have someone double soaking, which is like that Malthael, and then you push the bottom lane really hard with a core 4, and then you get the bottom lane bell tower. You then just control the lane, cycling one member back, maybe a Rhaegar, maybe a Greymane. Both of them can solo camps fairly effectively. You have them cycle back, grab the sapper camps that are on the left and the right over here, and if you actually can feed those into this death zone, they actually jump over and they'll deal damage to the core. So there's no technical, I always say, like, there's no way to rush core in this game outside of actually, or this map outside of actually that strategy. The other factor too is it also creates a pinch point through the bottom lane area bell tower or altar phases. So I'm just going to zoom out really quickly. You can see there's a bell tower phase over here that will actually be the first one in the lower position, and then there's also this one in the bottom lane area. If you don't have a bell tower here, your rotation is through the center of the map, and that is pretty predictable. You can also have the enemy team kind of grouping up in those bushes over there, and they can gank you as you're trying to rotate in for the defense. But right now, they continue to hold this bottom lane. This is exactly the strategy I was talking about. But look at your minimap. Genji does have the app of their hat, and they're trying to just deal with a little bit of the Malthael double soak, and they also needed to be up there to try and grab the altar. But now they're going to get this bottom lane bell tower 3 minutes in roughly, and that's going to be 5 shots raining out. Can Genji get the channel before it? No. So they get 5 shots, and they're only going to be getting 3. And this is going to be easily a free bell tower in bottom lane. To be going down to 30 core health in the first altar phase is not something I feel like I ever see. But that's going to be the case here, as we do see 10 shots falling in favor for the members of Bread Rising Esports. They want this to go to a game 3, and they're playing like it is. 14K and counting. Nice, KPB. Twin Blades, yikes. It is Twin Blades. I didn't actually catch that till just now. Thank you for... I looked over at chat because I was just talking about the map mechanics for so long, and I was just like, wait a minute, we should actually focus in on the levels coming in. But, I mean, it's Adrenal Overload with Twin Blades of Fury. Once they get the level 7 talent as well, that should allow them to really push face, I would hope. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see here. A couple sappers do go over the walls that you're seeing. Actually, 2 sappers make it through. And this is exactly the strategy I was just talking about. They're going to sit here. They're going to rotate Duke of Sky around the map, and he's going to just grab camps. He's going to recycle back in, Leap of Faith to pull Cawthon in. And this is the death zone I was talking about. If an enemy hero or even minions step up there, all these towers actually get quick shots onto them and blow them up very quickly. A hero can lose a lot of health very quickly. Meanwhile, in top lane, looks like Varian's trying to match into Linehouse, doing a little bit of damage, clearing the waves fairly effectively, but as long as Linehouse doesn't go down and just keep soaking, this is exactly what they need to be doing. We can actually cycle through the numbers right now. I want to get an idea of what the experience looks like. There's going to be 2 sappers over the wall. Third one goes over as well, and that's going to be core health down to 25. The members of Bread Rising Esports are speed running Towers of Doom. We are 5 minutes into the game, and the opposing side is near half its core health. Boss actually is going to be going up as well. You can hear that laughter. It's also 5 minutes into the game, which is when the boss spawns, and we have a single altar phase, but they're going going to be trying to defend against this. 10 talent tier isn't here just yet for for Bread Rising Esports, so Jailbait is going to be trying to make something happen as DB gets the interrupt. Genji going to be diving back towards the friendly team with a Swift Strike. Linehouse diving in here, trying to find enough damage. I was going to say to use a last rites, but I literally just said they don't have 10 talent tiers, so they're just going to be trying to shred through this, and they managed to do so. Coffin goes down. Genji trying to dive through as well. McGiblets. Oh, the slowing totem. What are we looking at? A minute on that camp and 20 seconds on the other. Abathur is pushing up top lane, but that's going to be another 5 shots rolling in, and as I said, this is probably the fastest I've ever seen a team play Towers of Doom outside of like an unbalanced scrim, because when I first started casting, I got to do a lot of unbalanced scrims, and Hedgie specifically knows all about those. I like the comp of the Yeast Boys team. No, seriously, Bread Rising Esports is playing this composition so very well. And this is what I was like when we were loading it. I was just like, you know what? I don't know if they're going to be able to kill anyone on this team. And this is the other thing I was talking about. Like, I love how they're playing the Greymane here. They're just like, cool. Zarya and Uther can kind of hold the lane a little bit, and they'll have Greymane Razor Swipe and burn through that. Jumping into top lane really quickly because I saw there's a little brawl right there. That's a Bloodlust from McGiblets, who's just going to try and live, but the Adrenal Overload is too much. Unfortunately, the last rites do come out. Malthael will be grabbing that camp in the top lane. Meanwhile, over here, that's a Divine Storm coming out from the Uther. There's going to be the Graviton Surge as well. Leap of Fate to be saving one. Oh, the Particle Grenade I thought was going to have enough damage, but not enough right there. Uther also did finish out the, not Silver Touch. I'm blanking on the name. Hammer the Lightbringer at level 1. Another Sapper. Oop. Single altar phase once again. 5 shots potentially for the members of Bread Rising Esports, who have only taken 3 damage. And that 3 damage came from the first bell tower phase when they could not rotate over and defend against the Genji who was just channeling. But they managed to get a bell tower immediately at the beginning of the game. It was like 3 minutes into the game. They got this bottom lane bell tower that Coffin's just trying to push up a little bit. And now, Greymane grabbing the camp on the left-hand side for more sappers to come through. Abathur trying to push this out, actually losing the symbiote right there. But another single altar phase. This entire game has been single altar phases, which it's a little odd. I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like we sometimes get a couple doubles in there, but it's just been back to back to back single altar phases, and 37-12, and we find ourselves about to have a talent tier deficit between the two teams. Fragistar going to be trying to turn on the Linehouse. I think their last race should be off cooldown if they're initiated. Yep, there it is. And Varian went into charge at level 10, so they don't have any sort of protection status with Warbringer, which is unfortunate. So that last rites is going to be going off pretty much every single time, and you get 5 seconds off of the total cooldown to a maximum of 15, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 5 seconds to a maximum of, or minimum, not maximum. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to glance around the minimap and see how they're playing this, but that's just going to be, they're trying to burn down this bottom lane bell tower. Divine Storm from the Uther. They're going to turn on this Bloodlust coming out from the Rhaegar, as well as Smiley is trying to make it out. McGiblets just runs into the death zone. They did get the kill onto the Kerrigan. Coffin did get picked off, as you can see, Snag is just trying to build up a little bit more energy right there, just purposely taking damage from that and just keeping the wave up. Meanwhile, in top lane, Linehouse is getting chased around. They have a last rites, and they get it. That actually counts. You don't have to actually have the last rites get the damage. You just have to have the mark on it, and it has to be within that 1.5 seconds afterwards. Really, really well played by them just to get the cooldown reduction. 3 stacks on that Malthael already. And now, Greymane grabbing the camp. Going to be able to get some pressure through the bottom lane with this once again, and potentially take the enemy side down to 9 core health. If they're able to actually get them down to 9, they get both of these bell towers. Actually, they don't even need to get them down to 9. Caster math, I can't screw up this caster math, because if they get both bell towers and the boss, they will win the game. That's 14,000 points of damage coming out between those 3. No, just kidding. Well, we currently have this on the left-hand side. You see Linehouse is grabbing that on the Malthael. There's going to be Kerrigan diving in as well. They have this, just everything being used. Greymane's the first one to go down. Ooh, we currently, I can't even see what's happening for half of this. That's going to be Dragon Strike. Dragon Strike going up, or not even Dragon Strike, Dragon Blade, there we go. This fight was just so topsy-turvy, but somehow, some way, they managed to get it. Now, the Sappers did go over, so they still get a couple shots in, and they're only going to be dealing 3 themselves. My brain potatoed right there. Like, it was just, everything was being used. Like, I couldn't think of Kerrigan's, and it just threw me so off. It's Maelstrom. I know it's Maelstrom, but immediately, like, it was just like, my brain was just like, dear Lord, everyone's just running into each other and pressing R, and looks like the members of Jailbait were able to press R a little bit better. They need to watch boss, and after getting that wipe right there, especially being over here, I was actually thinking that they should try and actually take this boss off the map because of this right here exactly. Like, let's get into the vision of the red team and see what they're seeing. So they know Greymane's in top. They have Sappers coming up. They see Zari in mid. And then Abathur was throwing out some mines right there to check on boss, and they knew that it was coming up. Maybe they were just trying to bait the fight onto boss itself. Duke Sky taking a lot of damage. That's gonna be the switch right coming through. They have the Divine Storm as well. Graviton Surge coming out. That's gonna be so many members getting caught by that. Light Bomb is gonna be used onto Genji, but they don't dive into the backline with that one as Fragastar needs to get out of here. That's gonna be Coffin going down. Kerrigan gonna be traded out for the Greymane, and ooh, DB, can you get out of here? Yeah. Whew. They did get this bottom lane bell tower back, so at least that you know, that's off the map. And Varian's just gonna solo boss. Oh, this is, oh god, this is, we went from you know, singles to a double, now to a triple altar phase, and they only need 1 on the side of Bread Rising Yeast Sports, and the best opportunity for them is to try and either get a kill or just go for all 3. Look at Rhaegar in bottom lane. Who's gonna stop this? Genji's so far away in the rotation. Kerrigan's so far away as well. Like, Abathur literally has to burrow in, sacrifice themselves. That's game 3, everybody. We are heading to a game number 3. The members of Bread Rising Esports turn it around in a very dominant fashion. GG. Well played. Triple altar phase, yeah. Really quickly, while we're going to get ready for our next game in our first best of 3 of the evening, I do want to note that we are going to be doing Heroes Lounge Division S on Saturday, the 1st of February. So this Saturday, the 1st of February at 5 o'clock PST and 7 o'clock PST. Both of those are going to be Division S matches. There'll be 2 best of 5s. It'll be a good time. Definitely want to come by for all of those. Also, we'll be raffling off a Bark Box. So if you have a dog and you've always wanted to try out Bark Box, Saturday will be your opportunity. We'll be doing that raffle between match 1 and match 2. Butt game of towers. Yep. Hello 911. I'd like to report a murder. Let me get a message out to the team. Okay, let's show stats once more. Gotta run, friends. Have some responsibilities. Take care of. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Catch you next time. Thanks for coming by, Baker Street. Thank you again for the sub. Really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the stream. So I did get a ping earlier from the some of the NGS people. Okay, they want first pick. Hold on. Okay. Let's go update scores. All right, we just got to find out what the next map will be, and we'll go ahead and get that set up for everyone. Whew. All right, so the one thing I was going to note, I forgot it and then I remembered it. So if Jailbait wins a single map, Jailbait is in the playoffs. But the indecisive scrubs have to lose a single map, and that's over on another. Is that yeah? That's on another stream I think this evening. We're getting to playoff times. Like it is getting close. Also, thank you to everyone joining the server. I really appreciate that, friends. Alarak of the Storm, thanks for joining the server. Appreciate that, bud. Thank you. Okay. So I'm just making sure that I'm not missing messages. That's the important thing. All right. Did they get a HMMM? That's not a map yet. I've never seen that dominant of a Towers game. The team should be, yeah. No, I've never seen a Towers game like that myself. Yes. Yes. Oh God, yes. Sorry, I know what map it is. Okay, so that's gonna be picked up by them. And that one, cool. Oops, no, it was this one. There we go. All right, we just need the last player. Let me get bandit camera fixed here. But how's everyone? Oh, Cat Peach, good to see you. Bandit is such a neat. He's so good. He's seriously such a good boy. He's also pooped because we've been doing 2 walks a day because it's warm here. Like we have really, really warm days right now, so it's easy to do 2 walks, which is wonderful for me. What, Stark? What do you mean? What? No. Also, for anyone in chat, I know it's a tier 3 sub thing. Hopefully when we have Twitch partner, it won't be anymore, but Alarak of the Storm was the one who made the Time to Sin. So if you hover over it with your mouse, you can actually see it blown up, but Alarak of the Storm made that Time to Sin, and when we get Twitch partner, that will no longer be a tier 3 sub or emote. It'll be regular, because God, is it beautiful. But I just don't have any more regular spots, because I've used all my spots. We have to have left and right finger guns. I was like, I can't get rid of any emotes. I can't. I need more slots. Either way, as I said, thank you all for supporting. Thank you for hanging out. As I was noting earlier, like we're really, really close to Twitch partners, so just keeping the average viewership higher and all of that good stuff is just the major factor that we have to do. Depending on how the stats look after tonight, I'm going to maybe apply tomorrow for Twitch partner, and I'll obviously let you all know on Saturday when we have the Division S matches. So those are actually going to be wildly fun. I highly recommend you come by for those. Not to say that these won't be fun either, because these are actually already a blast. We're going to a game number 3 in our first best of 3 of the evening. But those are going to be best of 5s, and best of 5s are always a little bit more sweaty in a sense. Like reverse sweeps are always a little bit more interesting with storylines. So their Kerrigan couldn't do anything to the other team. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, he's a pooped puppy. He also got treats, so he's just like, all right, I'm good. Like, I got everything I needed. All right, let's see if the teams are ready, and let's go ahead and get into game number 3 in just a second. Oh, I thought the last person was in. It is time to send. You have Asmodan to 120. I feel a little ashamed of myself now. I feel a little ashamed of myself. I'm not gonna lie. My son is not that. My son's only 79. All right, the readies are there. Let me double check that everything is all set. And let's go ahead and get into game number 3. Yeah, cool. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series, and some of you have already figured this out based on my reaction. We are here on Braxis Holdout, and if you might have just jumped in and you're like, wait a minute, Bahamut, I was just eating a burrito. How did we get here? I got you covered. It's okay. Braxis Holdout obviously is our current map, but before that, we had some other things happen. The home team this evening was Bread Rising Yeast Sports, and they're going to be losing the coin flip. The members of Jailbait opted for first pick priority in game number 1. They banned out Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow. The members of Bread Rising Esports banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Volskaya. They chose to take us to Tomb of the Spider Queen as the first map and lost that. As the losers, they had the opportunity for first pick or map pick, and they opted for map pick and took us to Towers of Doom. After dominating on Towers of Doom, the opposing side had first pick or map pick priority. They opted for first pick on the side of Jailbait, so Bread Rising Esports decided to close things out this evening on Braxis Holdout. Let's get back into the draft and see what we get here, as that is going to be an Ariel as well as a Joanna and a Deathwing ban. Oh, really quickly, is Kaleo still around in chat? IDK, if you answered earlier, but Jinxie talked to you guys about the video. No, I have not heard from Jinxie today. I have not. I sent her a message about D&D stuff, but I assume she's at work. Because I know the Ghillie Sharks don't have practice today. I don't think they do. So, yes. Also, really quickly on the note of Kaleo, he made me something and I wanted to share it with stream, so here you all go. Thank you so much, Kaleo, for making that. Blaze is going to be our first pick on the right-hand side by Jailbait. And we have a Gul'dan and a Stukov on the left-hand side for the members of Bread Rising Esports. They're going to be going for point control as well. It's just point control at this point. Gul'dan is really, really good at point control because you have the Echo Corrupt, or just the corruption in general. Echo Corruption is typically picked up because of just how much value you get with the reverse stepping of that. And on a point control based map, you can just kind of throw it onto the point and force people off. You can also zone with the Fell Flame or even get really good Zerg Wave clear from that. Stukov with the Lurking Arm also forces people off, but they're going to respond in turn. They already have that Blaze, so you can just kind of initiate, dive in, get an AoE stun if they do connect onto one, if there's people close by. Junkrat has really good concussion mines to be able to force people off the points. Now, there is going to be a potential for a slight, I'm blanking on the word, incompatibility. I can't think of the right word for it. With Junkrat and Blaze, you might have anti-synergy. There we go. Junkrat might throw a concussion mine and, you know, trigger that when Blaze is going in for a jet propulsion, and if that happens, well, that's going to be a rough go. Show actually being banned out right now. And the behind me in the draft all chat, it just says rude. And I'm a little disappointed that we're not getting a potential Cho'Gall, because this is actually a wonderful Cho'Gall map. Cho'Gall works on maps where you have to come and fight him. So Infernal Shrines, you're all going to be grouped up as a whole team. That works really well for him. Towers of Doom works well as well. You have Sky Temple, a little on the ish side because of the split phases, but you can kind of say the same thing about Towers of Doom. And then Braxis Holdout and Tomb of the Spider Queen, more maps where you're going to be brawling a bunch, but this is going to be a Vala and a Lieutenant Morales, and they're just going for double healers right now. It looks, I'm wondering if they're going to run this like a 2-3 kind of thing. Hey, that's rude. My uncle was a disembodied head. Sorry, I'm reading chat, but no, I think the members of Bread Rising Esports are going to try and run like a 2-3, like do like a healer assassin in top, and then like a healer assassin tank in the opposing lane. I'm not sure, but this is going to be a main tank Blaze with a solo lane Yrel, gray main Rhaegar, and Junkrat. Their Zerg wave clear is not the strongest on the side of Jailbait, but there's always the argument that you can make: if you don't lose the Zerg phase, you don't have much to clear. No solo lane or no tank. Who's gonna? Coffin is not Coffin luck. No. It is not that Coffin. Could be a 2-3. I think this is definitely a 2-3 with the way that they're playing supports. I think Lieutenant Morales is going to be the backpack for Gul'dan. Stukov, Vala, and Garrosh will be in the bottom lane or something like that. Morales has a shield. She's just Joanna with a laser. What? I'm confused by these drafts, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little confused by these drafts. But hey, we're loading into it. So I'll give you Bandit moved again. I think he knows. Like, I think he's just like, all right, when he's not paying attention, I'll just reposition. Yeah. Investing interesting comp again? I agree. It's interesting comps coming out from both sides. Because I rarely see teams run 2-3s. That's not a common thing on Braxis Holdout. Who does solos? I think Yrel is in top, and then Blaze Junkrat. Excuse me, oh my god. I picked up my tea to drink more, and apparently I don't need to. But we'll have Rhaegar, Greymane, basically Yrel top and everyone else bottom. But either way, we'll figure that out because we're here, we're loaded in. Let's go ahead and get into game number 3 of our first best of 3. We've got Duke of Sky on the Vala, McGiblets on the Stukov, Narina going to be on the Gul'dan, Snag on the Garrosh, and all the way in the solo, apparently is going to be Linehouse on the Lieutenant Morales. That is going to be the members of Bread Rising Esports. I love the idea of that right there. Jailbait on the right-hand side is going to be having H2O on the Yrel. Kobo is going to be on the Junkrat. We've got Smiley on the Rhaegar, Fragastellar to be on the Greymane, and Coffin will be on the Blaze. This is what we're just watching the entire game. We're just gonna, this is it right here. This is the entire casting of this game right now. We'll pull up talents, and we're just going to hold spacebar, and we're just going to watch what Lieutenant Morales does. No, I'm just kidding, actually. We're going to go ahead and jump back down into this bottom lane, see what the matchup actually looks like. This is currently a solo lane Lieutenant Morales. She has no wave clear. She currently does 86 damage in auto. Yrel heals for more than that off the minion wave. I don't know what's happening in this game right now. Garrosh also was body check, so there's that. I don't understand this game anymore. Vala's actually going to be rotating into the top lane. I'm actually a little surprised by the Vala being the one up. Well, I was just thinking like Gul'dan and Lieutenant Morales. It's a decent synergy. It's much like Vala and Ariel because you can kind of just throw the beam on Gul'dan and he can just sit there and mash trait, take away his own health, get mana, and then Lieutenant Morales just fills the bar back up. Kobo is actually going to be coming up here as well. That's a really good Righteous Hammer to force back Lionhouse. Going to trigger the Protect onto themselves, eating a little bit of damage right there. I think they're trying to get them to trigger the Concussion Mine, but won't be getting it. Duke of Sky taking a little bit of damage from H2O, but now jumping back into the bottom lane. It's going to be 3 versus 3 down here, as the Junkrat did obviously rotate out. Now I'm just watching to see how they're going to be playing this. They actually find a little damage onto this Gul'dan, who did go into the Echoed Corruption at level 1, already at 7 out of the 40 stacks for that necessary. If there was only 10, that'd be wild. Either way, Snag is going to be, I think they were looking for a toss target, but they might have missed one. We do have the Beacon Phase up and available. It did trigger at the 1 minute mark, and then it's up and available for capture at the 1 minute 30 mark. As Frag, do you get out of there? No, okay. They'll be fine. Or they will get out of there. I was like, oh, how they're gonna play this. Meanwhile, in top lane, Duke of Sky is getting some healing from Lionhouse. That was a good concussion, or excuse me, displacement grenade, I think is the actual name of the ability. I need to check. I want to know. Displacement grenade. We did it. We know the talents. But this is just going to be bottom lane still back and forth. They have control on the side of Bread Rising Esports. Jailbait just looking to get back on this as they have Rhaegar and Greymane rotating back in. We currently just have top lane. They tried to grab that right there. Not going to be able to get the conversion back over in their favor. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Snag is going to be staying on the point, trying to zone them back. And this is exactly what I was talking about with the Stukov with the Lurking Arm. You can just kind of force people to play these points at different angles. But now Duke of Sky going to eat that root. Junkrat went into the full grenade build. As actually they dive further forward on the Snag. That's a lot of good damage coming onto them. They do have a little bit of charge in their favor. That's going to be Gul'dan getting picked off, and they're going to try and follow up and find another kill. They are playing really close to their gate. Doesn't seem like they're going to be able to, so they're just going to keep pushing on in. Meanwhile, in top lane, we're just jumping back and forth consistently here. Lionhouse is getting so much healing into Duke of Sky. What is the healing looking like right now? I'm just curious. Stukov actually with almost 10k healing in the bottom lane, but 5k in from the Lieutenant Morales, and Rhaegar actually doing quite a bit as well in that bottom lane with 8.5k. Whew. Gul'dan's actually going to be joining into the top lane. Once they see that, they actually can play this bottom lane a little bit more aggressive, but I think they're going to try and capitalize onto a kill finally. Oh, Kobo is actually going to get picked off by Lieutenant Morales. I think it was the displacement grenade that actually sniped that kill right at the end. Meanwhile, we are going to be having them get the channel down here. That's actually, excuse me, the channel will be interrupted, and they'll be at 94%. I mean, this is what I was talking about in the draft. I mean, if Jailbait never really loses the full Zerg phase, they won't be having to clear out too much. Right now, it's looking like one Ultralisk, a couple Banelings, some Zerglings, like nothing crazy. Whereas, I mean, if we look over here, that's what's going to be coming through bottom lane. Couple Ultralisks, couple Guardians, definitely some Hydralisks, some Lings and some Banelings, but that will be full charge in favor for the members of Jailbait, but 18% still goes over to the opposing side. Lieutenant Morales in this top lane going to try and push this back, but H2O should be able to manage this just fine. Let's actually jump back into the bottom where all the fun's going to be happening. Oh, that Jet Propulsion narrowly missing McGiblets. They end up turning around with the Lurking Arm, but they interrupt it with the Concussion Mine from Junkrat. Sorry, I was like Concussion Mine, yeah. Guardian's just going to be sieging in from a distance. Ultralisk will be cleared out immediately. This is actually where Gul'dan really thrives on this map, just being able to clear so very quickly and also from a very safe distance. You can see those Fel Flames already dealing quite a bit, and they're just going to drain the health off of that other one. Looking for maybe a target to pull, not going to be able to find one. Meanwhile, over in top lane, you're all going to grab the Regeneration Globe, get a little extra mana, and I love this. Lionhouse healing up one of the minions, and this is actually a really smart tactic because your own lane sustain now becomes more impactful, and you're also still building up charge because they did go into Caduceus feedback, I think it is. So once I know they're hitting minions, but like once heroes rotate into lane, they can just sit there and auto into heroes and also keep healing up the minions, not really lose too much in that. Garrosh with the throw right there. I was just like, wait, how did that one happen? But either way, it's level 7. They have Into the Fray. Let's actually look through some of the other numbers really quickly, get an idea of what those look like. Morales solo lane? Yeah, Lorelei. Sorry, I'm way behind on chat. What is this, win trading? Interesting blue draft, yes. Memes over winning, I agree. Deus, how you doing, friend? Called it, Gul'dan needs to stack on the other team. Yeah. We can actually, I can take a peek at that right now. It's 20 out of the 40 stacks we can see down this bottom left. Actually, it's a little blocked off for you all, but 20 out of the 40 stacks onto them currently, so halfway through. Meanwhile, in top lane, actually, I was looking at the minimap. Dukas guy was in a bit of a rough posture. They do get the vault right out of there. Meanwhile, back in bottom lane, still going to be brawling out down here, but it is fairly close when it comes to our experience. We're only looking at like a 1,000 difference between these two heroes. Not even 1,000 difference in experience, excuse me. I think it's closer to like 500. But we can at least see the healing coming in right now. Oh, dear lord, Stukov with 23,000 6 minutes into the game. Toss goes out onto Cawthon. That's also going to be Indomitable used by Snag to try and mitigate the jet propulsion, allowing them so basically they can continue to body block after that jet propulsion goes off. And it seemed to work out a little bit, but they didn't manage to find the kill. Gul'dan was also, I think, stunned out by that one, but we do have Beacon Phase activating once again. No camp priority coming out from any of these teams. As I was just looking at them maybe go down here, I think they were checking to see if someone was on that camp, but neither team, I think, grabbing a camp on either side after that Zerg phase, but DB Smiley rotating around, making sure that they're going to regroup with the friendly team. I think maybe, yeah, pre-tapping. They need a whole lot of mana, so they're going to tap that well, and that's going to be Snag on the point, going to throw one away, gets the Groundbreaker, but they don't have Warbreaker or anything like that, so they're not going to be scaling that up. They have that body check still. Body check was what they went for. Lieutenant Morales will be on the point in top lane, just jumping back into bottom to see how they're going to play this. Cawthon? Yeah, just uses the jet propulsion to make sure they increase that distance between them and Garrosh. Lieutenant Morales went into medevac. Interesting choice. I guess, I mean, realistically, the next Zerg wave is in bottom, so if they don't really want to clear too much in top, they just go ahead and jump in the medevac and join the friendly team. A little bit of a split happening right there as H2O is going to be, you can see there, the medevac. I know Gul'dan just went down in bottom lane. Go ahead and get your bingo cards out for that one, but that was actually, I guess, medevac to mitigate damage works out pretty well. Meanwhile, Gul'dan was picked off in bottom lane, going to be having Garrosh in a bit of a rough spot. Huge Warlord challenge, Stukov with a lurking arm, and there's no way Flailing Swipe saves them. The flames don't get that. McGiblets. All McGiblets in that one right there. Oh, I mean, there was the Warlord challenge as well, which stopped them from. No, because doesn't Warlord challenge actually forces them to attack Garrosh? So that was mostly, yeah, because Warlord challenge just still made them keep attacking him. Maybe there was no ability damage coming out since they were just using auto attacks, and since he is, he does gain armor based on his missing health. Maybe that was really realistically how they were trying to mitigate that damage, and that was just so well played by Stukov. Seriously, like I keep not harping, but I keep bringing up like how much healing they've provided, and those little plays like that really show why and how they've kept this team alive. Meanwhile, they're going to try and get this channel on the bottom lane on the side of Jailbait. Red Rising Esports. Bit of a back and forth here. I'm honest to God, like, it's 2-2 in kills. It's 11-11. Like, it's such a neck and neck game. Outside of some structure damage in bottom lane, I honest to God don't know who this goes over to. What a save, seriously. What's up, Falendrith? How you doing, bud? That's a Nexus highlight, if I've ever seen one. Gul'dan did finish out on the Echoed Corruption, and the Vala did finish out on the Pursuit of, Creed of the Hunter. Hot Pursuit is level 1. Okay, I was managing to get some tea. So we're 12 up. We'll look at some of the numbers a little bit later into the game. It's still pretty back and forth right now between the two lanes. Fragistar are a little bit low in bottom lane. Doesn't look like they're going to try and step out into that. It's going to be the combustion from the Blaze right there. Warlord's challenge onto Rhaegar, and then they use the Horrify as well. They kind of pull him in, push him away, and they still hold over top lane. This is Riptire from Junkrat. Came down from like top. Junkrat's all the way up here, and they sent a Riptire into bottom lane. Cawthon needs to be a little bit careful because they might have used the toss. I might have missed it because it's a 16-second cooldown, but I was like, if Cawthon's stepping up like that, they have to know that that is a toss that's on cooldown currently. But look at Yrel. Yrel coming in for this flank. Not really finding a major flank, but still, they instantly toss H2O away as they end up diving in. Flailing Swipe coming out from the Stukov as well. Yrel just stepping further forward, and they're going to control this bottom lane a little bit. Not even a little bit, they're really controlling this bottom lane. Actually, Yrel going to be splitting off as the top lane is now being besieged by the members of Red Rising Esports. But with the Yrel missing in bottom, they realize they need to back off, so they're going to just get back to their front gate. That's going to be Channel going over to the opposing side. Oh, nice displacement grenade. But they do have the channel. Actually, down in bottom lane, there's a fight that's... it's been non-stop this entire game. Whew. H2O? Are you gonna be able to live through this? Ardent Defender is gonna be up and available. I didn't look at heroics in time, and I was just like, But Ardent Defender just ended. Riptire coming out. I think they're just trying to get the burst damage onto Dukasky, and they both go down. Trade out in top lane. Lionhouse cannot stand on this point. But there's no Riptire to chase down Lionhouse, so they're just going to walk off of that, and that will be charge going back over to the side of Jailbait. Garrosh actually going to be interrupting that, so they only get 6%. Could just let them get another 3. Also, Blizz devs at least like allow us to get to 69%. I know it goes up by 2% every time, but like, can it go like 68, 69, 70, 72? Like, can you just have that one? Anyways, that would just be the channel going out in favor for the members of Jailbait, and I think they should be able. This is what I was talking about with Gul'dan being able to just throw damage onto the point, and people, if they want to stand onto it, really need to eat a lot of damage. The Cawthon taking so much, that's almost their entire health bar. 400 and some health as they manage to get out of there, but that's a big Zerg wave on both sides. Top lane has got quite a bit coming through, and the same thing can be said about bottom lane. I think this is like 98 to 100 or something like that. Lieutenant Morales goes down. The Zerg wave, a little too OP. Kobo had like 50 health. I don't know where that came from. Good of them to sidestep the Echo Corruption, because like even a stray Fell Flame here is going to be their demise, but they're just trying to play around the fact that Gul'dan's mostly focusing on the clear, jumping back into bottom lane. Seems like it's going to be the same amount of value throughout both of these Zerg phases. Both the teams are just going to be trying to get a fort realistically. I was actually thinking that bottom lane was going to get a lot more than top, but top lane actually, Gul'dan not able to clear this out quick enough. Just make it start at 1% and increment by 2 from there. There we go, exactly. Just make it a butt at 1% and buttcrement by 2% from there. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Bottom lane is currently just still being sieged by Jailbait. They're just like, all right, well, we see you in top clearing. We're just going to go ahead and get a free front gate in bottom lane. Thinking to where the posturing for this should actually be Zerg wave coming in through bottom lane for the members of Jailbait next. But now this is the medevac coming in. The entire team is here. They're trying to kind of get in a flank position. Cawthon is like, I'll throw some slows onto them. Jet Propulsion right out there. Horrify actually splits the enemy team. That's going to be Yrel jumping in to try and displace everyone. Pyromania was popped. Vala actually ends up going down. The toss goes out, and they find Cawthon in a bit of a rough spot. There's a Warlord's challenge out from the Garrosh as well. DV is healing up as best they can. They do have the Ancestral, so watch for that one. Kobo is going to be joining to the friendly team. They have that spread launcher to get a lot of good damage out into the enemy side as they're just stepping up into them. But now they need to consider how they want to go into this. Do they want to keep pushing in with this small talent tier advantage that they have, or do they want to back off and just grab camps? And it's going to be exactly that. They're just going to play it a little bit safe. Buttspot's killing you tonight. Buttspot's killing it in general. Oh, that was a really good concussion mine. Jet Propulsion from the Blaze doesn't find the stun, but Cawthon finds himself on the far side of this fight, and once again, even further as Yrel dives in to join in. That's gonna be Riptire from the Junkrat. They don't have 20 talents here, so no extra oomph or cannonball or anything like that, but they're gonna go ahead and have Junkrat utilize the Air Ripper, right? Yeah, because they took that 13. Excuse me, Ripper Air, and that allows them to be able to use those concussion mines more often, and also to be able to launch themselves further, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Yeah. Also to note, I mean, it's just, I'm noting little things on the game because if you are looking at this and you're like, wait, why am I seeing a little red circle underneath? Can we please, Reaver minion? The little red circle underneath the Junkrat signifies that he has the Dirty Trickster up and available. So it's got a 12-second cooldown, and you can see that if they get rooted, stunned, all that stuff, they drop. You know, it triggers that value, or if they're below 50% health. I actually saw Lazy Hydra a couple weeks ago turn into the enemy team. They all bodied onto him, and then they got like 2 to 3 kills with that. It was it was such a cool moment in that game. But now spread launcher coming through. This is gonna be a combustion from the blaze connecting onto quite a few members. Snag is in a bit of a rough spot, very far from the friendly team as they do get the taunt. That's going to be Vala going down as well. Jet propulsion connecting onto a couple members. Linehouse. Oh, McGiblets is trying to do their best to be able to get the flailing swipe back. But that is 3 for none, and they've got a camp in bottom lane pushing through. They're looking for Zerg Wave, but I think they should be going for keep. Lieutenant Morales actually goes down to top lane. This might be keep and game. Kaleo has the butt spot bullseye on him tonight. Yeah. Or butt spot chimed in. Kaleo has the butt's butt bull's butt on them tonight. Probably something like that. So, Zerg Wave is charging up. No one's stopping that right there, and it is, as I said, coming in through the bottom lane. You can see that actually that pen is getting the. You saw the Guardian coming in right there. It looks like they're gonna back off and but either go for boss. If they tag the boss before the Zerg Wave comes through, they will have that. But I think they're saying, you know what, it's not worth it. Let's just back off. And see, here's what I was talking about, where camps disappear when objectives come on the map. The only map where I don't think it happens is technically Blackheart's Bay. Battlefield of Infernal Shrines, and I think Warhead Junction as well. I think those are the only 3 maps, but like actually no, when Blackheart goes into his firing form, no, I think the camps are set up. I'll have to look into that one, but either way, currently going to be having the Zerg Wave pushing on in through bottom lane. No keep is going to be there, so they're doing the best to defend against this. The top lane actually does have a Zerg Wave coming on in, but that's going to be easily managed. This could be what they need on the side of Jailbait to take this series. Is that's going to be core shielding now falling. There's going to be down to 90% combustion coming out from the Blaze. There's a Riptire coming out from the Junkrat as well. No 20 talent here on either side just yet. They re-engage onto the core, as that's going to be the Horrify to force them off. The Zerg, they still have Guardians on this core, and that was Ancestor healing out from the Rhaegar. That is going to be game number 3 over to the side of Jailbait. They close out the series in a 2-1 fashion. GG. Well played.